Africa Connect News is your #1 news. We use credible sources, official statements, and verified online content for educational, analytical, and informational use. Accuracy is not guaranteed. Viewers should verify independently. We do not promote hate, violence, misinformation, or political unrest. Our aim is to offer context-rich insights, amplify local voices, and support informed dialogue in Africa and beyond. Viewer discretion advised.
In the dusty outskirts of Burkina Faso's southwestern farmlands, an unassuming fruit is quietly rewriting the narrative of economic transformation. For decades, the cashew apple, the soft, tangy fruit that clings to the cashew nut, was left to rot beneath trees, its sweet scent perfuming the air but largely ignored by farmers and traders alike. The world wanted the nut, hidden in a hard shell beneath the fruit, for snacks and confections, but no one paid attention to the apple itself. Now, a groundbreaking processing plant in the small town of Peni is set to change that. Traditionally, Burkina Faso has exported raw cashew nuts to countries like India and Vietnam, where they were processed, packaged, and sold at a profit that never returned to the farmers who harvested them. The apple, on the other hand, was considered waste, despite its high vitamin C content and potential for juices, wines, and other products. A new facility in Peni is set to challenge that decades-old paradigm. Backed by the government under President Ibrahim Traoré, the $11.5 million cashew processing plant is not a typical export-driven project but a local investment designed to build economic sovereignty from the ground up. At a technical level, the plant aims to process 5,000 tons of cashew apples each year into products like juice, vinegar, alcohol, and even wine. Instead of focusing on the lucrative nut alone, the factory's strategy is to unlock value from the part of the harvest that farmers have always overlooked. This represents not just an industrial step forward but a cultural one, challenging long-held assumptions about Burkina Faso's place in the global supply chain. Historically, Africa has been cast in the role of raw material supplier, its crops exported for others to refine, brand, and profit from. By investing in local processing, Peni is signaling that the country is ready to rewrite the script, to move from passive participant to active player. The economic impact could be substantial. With an annual cash injection of nearly $900,000 directly into the rural economy through cashew apple purchases alone, local farmers gain stability and bargaining power. Instead of relying on unpredictable international buyers, they now have a guaranteed market for a product that was once considered worthless. Beyond the immediate financial benefits, the Peni factory has a symbolic power that extends far beyond the walls of its production lines. Its very location, in a rural town rather than a major urban center, is a deliberate choice, demonstrating that development can take root in communities often overlooked by policymakers. Yet the success of this initiative hinges on more than just machines and money. The real challenge is changing mindsets. For generations, Burkina Faso's farmers and officials were conditioned to accept their role as suppliers of raw goods. Transformation, whether through roasting, packaging, or branding, was always someone else's business. Now, with cashew apple juice and wine being produced locally, a shift in thinking is required. Farmers must see themselves as entrepreneurs, not just harvesters. Schools must teach not only agronomy but also food science and branding. Consumers need to embrace local products, not simply because they are cheaper, but because they represent national pride and economic self-reliance. The challenges are significant. Infrastructure like packaging, labeling, and distribution chains still lag behind. Bureaucratic hurdles can slow progress. Imported materials, such as bottles and caps, add costs and undermine the goal of self-sufficiency. But the vision remains clear. Burkina Faso is not content to export raw value any longer. Instead, it seeks to bottle it, ferment it, and label it, adding worth every step of the way. This quiet revolution in Peni is more than an economic experiment. It's a statement of intent, a challenge to the status quo of global trade that has long seen Africa as an exporter of poverty rather than a producer of prosperity. The cashew apple, once left to wither in the dirt, is now at the center of a new chapter in Burkina Faso's history, proving that even the most overlooked resource can become the cornerstone of a national transformation. In a world that has long told Africa what it's worth, Burkina Faso is finally defining its own value. This transformation is not without its growing pains. As the plant in Peni ramps up production, local farmers are being trained to improve harvesting techniques, ensuring that the apples reach the factory in the best condition possible. Historically, many farmers lacked the tools or knowledge to handle the delicate fruit properly, leading to unnecessary spoilage. Now, extension officers are fanning out across the region, demonstrating the importance of prompt collection and careful transport. These efforts are building a new generation of agricultural entrepreneurs who understand that value begins at the farm gate. Meanwhile, the factory itself is evolving into a hub of innovation. Engineers are experimenting with new byproducts, such as dried cashew apple snacks and organic compost from fruit waste, further boosting the factory's potential to create local employment and reduce environmental impact. The integration of waste management solutions aligns with the global push for sustainable agriculture, positioning Burkina Faso as a leader in green growth rather than merely a participant in traditional commodity trade. Community leaders, too, are stepping up to embrace the opportunities presented by the plant. Women's cooperatives have sprung up around the new supply chains, giving women a greater voice in the local economy and challenging traditional gender norms. In a region where women's economic participation has historically been limited, the cashew apple's rise is helping to empower an entire demographic, giving them a stake in a new industry that values their labor and ideas. Of course, the road ahead is filled with uncertainties. Global markets are volatile, and the success of the Peni model depends on both domestic and international buyers recognizing the quality of Burkina Faso's cashew apple products. Building a brand that competes with established players from Asia or Latin America will take time and patience, but early signs are encouraging. Tastings in Ouagadougou have drawn praise, and trade fairs in neighboring countries have sparked interest from potential buyers. The government, for its part, appears determined to support the initiative. Investments in rural infrastructure, including roads, electricity, and storage facilities, are slowly being prioritized to ensure that Peni's success can be replicated elsewhere. National policy is beginning to reflect the belief that local processing is not just a development strategy but a path to national dignity and independence. In the heart of Burkina Faso's farmland, the transformation of the cashew apple from waste to wealth is more than an economic project. It's a statement that the country's future lies not in raw exports but in value creation at home. As Peni's factory hums with activity, it's also humming with possibility. The possibility that Burkina Faso can rise not by feeding global supply chains but by feeding its own dreams of prosperity, innovation, and pride. The world may have overlooked the cashew apple, but Burkina Faso will not, and in that simple decision, a powerful revolution is taking root.
That's all for now on Africa Connect News. Thank you for staying informed with us. For more updates, context-rich insights, and authentic African perspectives, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Until next time, stay connected, stay informed, and above all, stay proudly African. This is Africa Connect News.